Royals baseball comes to you on another beautiful night in downtown Minneapolis for Game 2 between the Royals and the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and over the course of 6 months and 162 games, Hud, there are games you just say, forget it. You flush it down the toilet and you don't think about it again.
Are you referring to last night?
I'm referring to last night's game. And then there are some you want to remember and you hope to build from, like Jorge Lopez last start.
Oh, that's for sure. He had a keeper of a start. If he could bottle that up, he'd be in the rotation for sure next year. But that's what he's looking for, consistency. Ned Yost wants to see guys fill the strike zone with fastballs that are strikes and set up for the breaking ball. You can see it. It's a beauty. He's got a couple of nice off-speed pitches, but that fastball, it set up everything. He looked good Sunday against the Orioles.
The Royals will face an all-star tonight. Which Jose Berrios will they see? We'll talk about that when we come back. Rex Hudler's Fresno State Bulldogs.
And Dan Gladden, too.
Hud, Jose Berrios in his last 5 starts, his ERA is 6.5. But in Archaea Drive to Success, he's been very good against the Royals this year.
And against the Central. He is their future. No doubt about it. In his 2 starts against the Royals this year, he was fantastic. And he was the lone representative for the Twins for the All-Star game.
Salvador Perez left thumb seems fine. He had a home run last night and nearly hit 2 more. are 6-1 here. A couple of young pitchers from Puerto Rico will be matching up tonight. Jose Berrios, Jorge Lopez. The first pitch is next. They were thinking of leaving the Metrodome and coming to Target Field. 72 degrees. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, and it's nice to have Erica Weston with us for the next week. And here's the Royals batting order tonight against Jose Berrios, a right-hander. So Ryan O'Hearn is back in the starting lineup. Salvador Perez looked good last night, but Ned Yost for now will keep them in the number 6 spot. And Brian Goodwin is back in the lineup. And here he is, Jose Berrios. The overall numbers look good, 3.92, but Hud, as we pointed out earlier, his ERA is about 6.5 over his last 5 starts.
Yeah, you know, might be hitting the wall a little bit this time of year, as a lot of players do, but the 171 strikeouts to 167 innings, that's good. He's a strikeout pitcher. He's got a nice fastball that he's going to challenge guys with, and he sets up his big breaker. Put the pressure on him. We only had 5 at-bats with runners in scoring position over the last 2 starts. So get him on, get him over, but you got to get him in if you're going to win.
It's been a tough trip for Witt at the plate. He is 1 out of 18, but still hitting .303. That's 6th in the league, and he has the 4th most hits, 163. That slider is just a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Witt put an end to an 0 for 14 last night with a 3rd inning single and a run scored, and now a slow roller and a race to the base, and Berrios is there ahead of Merrifield.
I guarantee on contact, Witt thought he could beat Berrios to the bag, because it was a foot race. Maurer vacated first base and it was wide open. This is a nice play. But anyway, Minnesota Twins, Jake Caves, the center fielder, has done a nice job in place of Platinum Glove winner Byron Buxton. He's done good. It's his 51st start out there in center. And Joe Mauer's at first base. He's been a DH for 28 games, and now he's making his 77th start at first. He's been solid.
And now Berrios will get Adalberto Mondesi. Fastball for a strike. It was an ugly game last night. I mean, even the Twins, who won the game, were talking about things that didn't go right for them. The Royals had a 6-run third inning, and at one point had a 4-run lead, but Minnesota ended up scoring the last 8 runs.
Hard to write that one up.
Fastball at 94. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Berrios, he can run it up there, but you hear this at times about a pitcher with a big arm. He may be able to throw 96 or 97, but he's more effective with a little less velocity, more movement. Cave looking up into the sun, gives way to Kepler. That looked like a Elvis Andrus Adrian Beltre routine.
It did. Sun's up there a little bit, 6 o'clock start, but not enough to affect a fly ball like that. But I'd love to see Mondesi. Mondesi was hitting second base and rounding second when the ball was caught. If something happens at Bobble, he could have got an inside the Parker on that. That's what you do. Never assume anything. Hustle every ball out.
And now low to Alex Gordon. He drove in 2 in that 6-run third inning with a double, and also had a couple of lineouts. Bunted foul, and the left side of the infield was wide open. Our Toyota League leaders, and if you've been watching the Royals over the past couple weeks and you think they've hit into some bad luck, well, they have by a pretty good margin. The highest line drive rate over the last 14 days. Just under 6 points higher than the next closest team.
I'm not surprised. Offensive has been really good. Backdoor slider. Got Alex talking to himself.
Hard slider strikes him out. The Royals go down in order in the top of the first. Start number 5 for Jorge Lopez tonight in his first against Minnesota. Five in a row going to last night's game, and then the Royals had that early 6-2 lead, but their offense bounced back. They finished with 10 runs on 12 hits and took game 1. They are 6-1 against the Royals here at Target Field, and they'll get a look at Jorge Lopez, who's coming off the best start of his major league career.
Should have had some confidence coming in, no doubt about it. If he can do what he did in his last start, that would be wonderful. Command the fastball. Get out ahead of those guys. Was very economical in his last start. Just 14 pitches per inning compared to the 19, 20 he was throwing before that. Too many. Get in there with that fastball. Set up the secondary pitches.
Joe Mauer was 0 for 4 last night with a couple of called third strikes. He wasn't thrilled with home plate umpire Kerwin Danley's strike zone. 5 home runs, 39 driven in for Joe Mauer, who has 1 RBI over his last 16 games. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kerwin Danley is safely tucked away at third base tonight.
He is. They all have their winter hoodies, though. They got their jackets on it. Must be cold down there. Get that fastball established. That's what he's trying to do here. He's got a lot of great natural movement. Both his 4-seam fastball and his 2-seamer.
Dozier gives way to Mondesi. That's been an issue earlier this year where Dozier has been diving for balls on the left side and Mondesi was right there. So there's the effect of playing more games together.
Continuity. The Royals forward around the horn defense. Brian Goodwin in center field's been getting a pretty good look. He's getting his 11th start out there. Where's Witt tonight? Witt's at second base, getting his 94th start, and hopefully he'll be multi-hit Witt before it's over.
Ball 1-2 Jorge Polanco. He led off the third inning last night with the Royals in front 6-2. The Royals had just scored 6 runs. And he dropped down a bunt hit on the third base side. The Royals were overshifted on him. And it seemed pretty harmless at the time, but that was the beginning of a 4-run rally. And now there's Dozier trying to take that bunt away. Two and 1. Caught by a Royals fan.
Yeah, he did. That's beautiful. He's all over it.
Three balls, 1 strike.
Nothing better than sitting camped under a ball hoping it comes to you, and he was totally ready for it. Look at him. He got out of his seat. He checked the booth. He wanted to see if Denny improved with the catch. Sure enough, we all did.
Almost lost a souvenir because he was distracted by his phone. He was managing his phone and making a catch at the same time, and now he's a hero back home. So he brought his glove.
Yeah, he did.
He doesn't catch that ball without his glove.
That's a happy couple from Kansas City.
Dozier is out. Gordon is in. 2 away.
That's when you're Dozier. You're so happy to hear that voice. I got it. I got it. That was a bit of a tough play.
And now Eddie Rosario. He hit his 23rd home run last night. And a long home run to right field. And he salutes fellow Puerto Rican Jorge Lopez before he digs in.
Oof. That's some hard tailing action. They call that arm side run. That's what the pros call it. Scouts.
Meaning
he's got great tailing action. He's got sinker. It's a sinker basically. It's hard.
But the movement is to the same side as his throwing arm.
That's right, his arm side. And inside the dugout, they'll call it, he's got teeth on the heater. Teeth on the heater. He's going to bite your bat and break it. Be careful.
The movement is excellent tonight. He's having a little difficulty getting it in the strike zone. And with that strike, he has been 3-1 with each of the first 3 hitters. But not for a lack of aggressiveness. He has stayed with his fastball.
Yeah, they can't touch that. You stay with that until they start hitting it. Then when they start hitting it, then here you go. Here's the other sample I have. Wow. That's some hair, man. That's big time movement.
And back to your key for Lopez. I think he surprised the Orioles in a start on Sunday because he got ahead and he had 5 called third strikes on a fastball. A bad swing. That's about all he could do. I think the Orioles thought he was going to start nibbling with 2 strikes.
Because his previous outings, that's what the scout was telling him. They was saying, hey, he's trying with 2 strikes, he's going to try to get you to swing off the plate. But he found something. He found out how good his fastball really is. It's too much movement right now. They can't square it up.
3 Royals are in pursuit, and it's Mondesi going out from short, and Lopez matches Berrios with a 1-2-3 first. No score. On to the second inning on a beautiful night in Minneapolis. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in tonight's game. It'll be Dozier, O'Hearn, and Perez in the second inning. Hunter was 1 out of 4 last night with a run scored. Two balls, no strikes. Still on a nice run over his last 13 games with 11 extra base hits and 11 RBIs. 2-1.
Yeah, Dozier was talking about Berrios today, and he was saying he doesn't have a big 12-6 curveball. He has more of a roundhousing curve. So he'd been doing his homework on him. He said he's got to look for the fastball, but then if he hangs one of those other ones, that's a reaction swing. When you see it hanging, you don't look for it, but you just react to that. Curveball's his best pitch, but he's given up the most home runs with that pitch there, 10. But he's got 2 and 4 seam fastballs, pretty impressive. He can get you if he's going good. There's the roundhouser he's talking about.
Looks good tonight, and the overall numbers are good, but lately with that high ERA in his last 5 starts, you can point to the curveball. Opponents are hitting over 330. Before that, opponents were hitting 170 against his curve. 0-1 on Ryan O'Hearn, who was not in the starting lineup last night with a lefty starting for Minnesota, but Ryan ended up with 3 plate appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Ryan still has a Royals record, 9 home runs in his first 27 big league games, 23 RBIs in his first 27 games. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's also up there with other major leaguers, not just rookies. Since July 31st, only 3 other big leaguers have more home runs than Ryan O'Hearn. And now he lines one into right field. Played off the wall by Kepler, and he played it well, and O'Hearn has a long 1-out single.
Hit it too hard. Man. He's all over that, gets underneath that. That's going to be a nice solo home run. But again, he's able to recognize it. Looked like it was an off-speed pitch, and he's turning on it. Kepler, man, he's a good athlete. Played that nicely off the wall.
Salvador Perez hit home run number 24 last night and almost hit number 25 and 26. He had 2 fly balls to the warning track around his 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. And that gives him 17 here at Target Field. That's a record for a visiting player. Oh, and 2.
That's the one starts right at you. That's the one to hit. If you can pick up the rotation and it's on the inner part of the plate, leave it alone. It's going to be off the plate.
Garver played the bounce off the stone wall, but O'Hearn moves up on a should be a wild pitch. Statcast AI powered by AWS.
Look at the tracer, couldn't even keep up with the baseball. How about that? It was hit so hard. Launch angle 22 had a pretty good line on it.
By the way, that was ruled a pass ball, not a wild pitch.
That's the one right there. He just missed that. Salvi's locked in from last night.
Tied him up. Still 1 and 2. So the 17 home runs is a record by a visitor, and that slugging percentage is the best for anybody who's played at Target Field. Two and 2.
Find a way. When you get a runner in scoring position, try to make him pay. Couldn't do it in the last couple outings against us. He was stingy, even letting him get into scoring position. I don't see Salvi shortening up much, but he's going to hit something hard.
3-2.
Way to eyeball him. He's got a nice at bat here. Fouling off some pitches, seeing him taking good hacks on his breaking ball. Could do some damage with anything in the middle.
And Salvi comes back after 0-2. And he's on with a walk. Another issue for Berrios as he's struggled over his last 5 starts. And now 2 on for Jorge Bonifacio, who had a good night last night, averaging about 5.5 walks per 9 innings over his last 5 starts.
Tells me there's some fatigue. There's a little bit of tiring going on in that arm, and you know, he still looks good. I mean, he's throwing 94, 95, but that'll catch up to you sometimes. See if Bonifacio, who's 2 for 6 in his career off him, can pick up a run with a runner in scoring position.
High fastball is taken for a strike. Bonifacio had 3 hits last night and a walk. He drove in a run. One ball, 1 strike.
We did a nice little breakdown of Bonifacio's swing today, earlier when we got to the ballpark on the truck. And I'm going to show it to you later on what he's doing, how interesting it is. They're all different. Every one of the hitters, they all have something different, but the whole objective is to get their hands in a good hitting position to where they can thump them. The half swing there, he was undecided.
Two and two. In the Indian series at the beginning of this homestand, Cleveland pitchers got Bonifacio to chase sliders down and away, and that's what Berrios went to ahead in the count.
Discipline yourself.
Got him to chase that one. 2 outs. Berrios has struck out 3. All with that pitch.
Can't do anything with that. He just got fooled.
Berrios is a strikeout pitcher. He has more strikeouts than innings pitched, but it's been a big strikeout season for the Minnesota Twins. Last night they set a new single season strikeout record. Some of that has to do with the quality of their pitching, and some of it has to do with just the era of baseball.
Swinging for the fences.
2-0 on Goodwin. Brian did not play last night. He was 1 out of 9 in the Cleveland series, starting all 3 games against the Indians. O'Hearn is at second. Perez is at first with 2 outs. Outside, 3-0.
Haven't seen Goodwin shoot a shot to left center in a while. That's where he likes to hit the ball. Good opposite field hitter.
And Now Goodwin is on with a walk. So 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, a single, and a pass ball. And the bases are loaded for Rosell Herrera.
Okay, he's been taking a lot of time. You see how he's walking around the mound. Now this inning is unbelievable to a hitter to say in a team, let's get him. Let's make him pay now. Now you've got to get the big hit off him. He's laboring around out there, walking around. You know, give it to him. First good one you see. He's 0 for 2 with him loaded this year. He's due. Be ready for that first good fastball. Got to make him pay.
Wow. He swung at it.
All right.
But Berrios got it in on his hands, and he escapes and works around the 2 walks and the single, and the Royals leave the bases loaded. Let's go downstairs, and here's Erica.
Hey Ryan, yeah, Jorge Lopez back out for his 2nd inning of work tonight against the Minnesota Twins, coming off the best start of his young career with the Kansas City Royals this season. Last Sunday against the Baltimore Orioles, 7 innings, just 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts as well. That is also a career high, and he says the adjustments he made were not necessarily mechanical. He moved to the middle part of the rubber on the mound, which in turn led to better location on that 2-seam fastball. And guys, he really had good command of the fastball in that start on Sunday.
Better believe it, Erica. He's got a nice pitch that he can set everything else up with. With that kind of movement, tough to square that up.
Well, that's the 2nd Royals pitcher who's made that adjustment on the rubber. We were talking about Glenn Sparkman last night. After the suggestion from Cal Eldridge, just move a little more to the middle of the rubber. Chop to third, and Dozier throws out Forsyth.
Last start, we'll show you those fastball commands, and a lot of those were called looking right here. It's because the scouting report was with 2 strikes, he's going to try to get you to swing off pitches like sliders and curves. He attacked, and what a different pitcher he looked like in that start there. That's the guy he can become with that kind of movement. Watch out.
Here's Jake Cave with 1 out. Yeah, it seems logical. I mean, why wouldn't you pitch in the middle of the rubber? But there are very few pitchers, it seems, that are neutral in their setup on the rubber. Most are either on one side or the other.
It's all about angles and about confidence. And the slab's only so big, so you know you're gonna get your toe hole wherever you believe is the most comfortable. Angles are important for them.
O'Hearn slides on his knees and gets to the bag in front of Jake Cave. 2 down.
O'Hearn has a nice glove over there for sure. And what's made it tough for us to be able to watch any other first baseman besides Eric Hosmer is the fact that Hosmer had such a great arm. He could throw from any position. He could throw anywhere on the diamond, and that's just a luxury. Not everybody has that. But O'Hearn has plenty of good enough skill where he can handle. He's got nice, good soft hands with his glove, and his throwing, he can get better with that. Hosmer set a high ceiling.
Oh, and 1 on Mitch Garver. He chipped in last night with a couple of RBIs. One ball, 1 strike. Jorge had a 1-2-3 first inning, but he went 3-1 on each of the 3 hitters. Been much better in the strike zone in the second inning. A little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. 7 innings in his last start that Erica was talking about. Career high, 8 strikeouts, career high. No walks. Hit well to right field, but Bonifacio is there. And now 6 up and 6 down for the Twins against Lopez.
Lopez back to the dugout and Joel Goldberg at target field. This is a special game for these 2 pitchers who grew up about 45 minutes from each other in Puerto Rico. They first began facing each other at about 15 years old. Lopez telling me that he remembers at one point facing Berrios, who was a hitter and a shortstop. They eventually were teammates in some tournament games. They were teammates on the WBC last year for Puerto Rico. They talk and text on a very regular basis, including yesterday. And very important for these 2 guys, as Lopez was telling me, it is the first time that 2 starting pitchers born in Puerto Rico have faced each other in the majors since 2010, Javier Vasquez and Joel Pinheiro.
Wow.
That's surprising. That's a long time ago. I mean, 2010 seems like, you know, it was just yesterday, but that's quite a gap. Over to Maurer, and Witt is out. He is 0 for 2. The Royals loaded the bases against Berrios in the second inning, but he got Rosel Herrera to fly out to center field, and that was your key, Hud, hitting the big hit. against Berrios, and Royals last night stranded 10. So it was an issue last night as well.
That was an issue to start the season for the longest time too. One of the reasons why the Royals got off to such a terrible start, and then they started picking it up because they got some timely hits. But there was a couple ways to look at the Rosell Herrera at bat there with him loaded. He walked a few batters in that inning, but you want to look for a pitch and drive him in. And usually the first pitch is the best one. He wants to get ahead of you. I didn't see anything wrong with Rosie. He just missed it. He got up underneath it. Got to make it pay, but it was a good swing. Just couldn't quite make it work.
Sometimes it is not poor execution by the hitter. It's good execution by the pitcher.
Yeah, so like that, he popped himself up.
That's Grossman. Mondesi is 0 for 2.
Enjoy $5 tickets with the Price Chopper Ballpark deals. Available now exclusively through the Ballpark app. Get a $5 ticket for the Tuesday's game versus the White Sox. For more information, visit Royals.com/ballpark deal.
Two outs, and Alex Gordon with nobody on. Berrios struck him out in the first inning. And now into left field. Grossman toward the line makes the play. So for the second time, Berrios gets Merrifield, Mondesi, and Gordon in order. In the third, he needed just 7 pitches. The City is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. It is a great night to be outside. There's a lot going on outside this weekend in the Twin Cities. High school football, college football. And even with the hometown Twins not going anywhere this year, they were hoping to get back to the playoffs. There's a nice crowd here tonight. And that little guy is going to go back to Kansas City with a souvenir.
Sure is. And hopefully he'll see a win tonight.
Lopez has set down the first 6 Twins. Here's Max Kepler. He drove in a run last night, having a down year. Interesting, you brought this up in earlier series against Kepler. He was in danger of becoming a platoon player because he wasn't doing anything against left-hand pitchers. Well, he really improved this year against lefties, and now he's struggling against righties.
You know, the game is so tough. It'll wrench your mind. But at least he showed Molitor that he can hit the left-handers. That's the main thing, because he's too young to become a platoon player.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Kepler, Grossman, and Adrianza in the bottom of the third.
And Kepler's just 25 years old. He's got a nice career ahead of him. He'll make some adjustments. Ooh. He hit that off the end. He didn't get that good.
Bonifacio brings it down. He is also from Germany, so he's not like an American kid or a kid from Latin America who's been saturated with baseball from a young age. So he's young and still learning.
Fresh. Good attitude. I've talked to him before. Good guy.
Breaking ball in for a strike to Robbie Grossman, who caught 2 fly balls in the top of the third inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Royals pitchers last night had a tough time throwing strikes to Robbie Grossman. He had 3 walks, and now Lopez is ahead 0-2. Salvi gives him a low target, and that's out over the plate, but pulled on the ground to Merrifield. 2 away, and Lopez has set down the first 8. Tonight, Sporting KC's match against Orlando City airs on Fox Sports Kansas City Plus, and that's coming up in about 7 minutes with Nate Bukaty and Matt Lawrence. For channel listings, go to foxsportskansascity.com. The game is also streaming on Fox Sports Go. And now 0-1 on A-Ray Adrianza, who didn't look like a number 9 hitter last night. He had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. One ball, 1 strike.
He's been getting an opportunity to play with, especially now with Sano out third baseman. He's playing a lot of third. He's 29 years old. Wants to do the best he can with his opportunity he's getting. These guys are auditioning for next year. A lot of the Twins players.
That's into right center field. Goodwin wants it, and he's got it. 9 up, 9 down against Jorge Lopez. No score at the end of 3.
Royal-themed ticket for our last bark at the park of the season. Purchase your tickets at royals.com/themed tickets in order to receive a Royals branded dog tag.
Outside to Hunter Dozier. What do we have, 3 of those this year?
I think so, and we need to have more. Those are popular days, games. Folks love bringing their dogs to the ballpark.
Shallow right field. And Kepler is there for the out. Dozier is 0 for 2.
A lot of fly ball outs tonight.
Jose Berrios was Minnesota's first-round compensation pick in 2012 for Michael Kadire, who was one of the answers in our trivia question last night when Kadire signed away from Minnesota as a free agent.
That was a nice hint they gave us. Oops.
Fastball for a strike to Ryan O'Hearn. And it's time for our sprint trivia question tonight. One ball, one strike. Name the 2 left-handed hitters last season with a 600 or better slugging percentage in 100 or more plate appearances. 2 left-hand batters last year in the major leagues had a slugging percentage of 600 or better. Just left-handed, period. Line drive caught by Polanco. So O'Hearn has 2 hard hit balls against Berrios in his 2 at-bats. 2 down.
Got robbed, no doubt. Used to be when you'd hit a ball like that right by the pitcher, that was an easy hit. That was in the day when they didn't shift. They shift to play pull 2 or 3 steps to the right or left, but nothing this drastic. Okay.
There were 2 left-hand batters last year in the major leagues.
100 ABs is what's bothering me. I mean, before that or then after, they have a full season?
No, just had to have 100 or more plate appearances.
Oh, okay.
So the reason we bring that up is because, you know, there could have been a guy who didn't have a full season last year. Two balls and no strikes on Salvador Perez. Ryan O'Hearn, by the way, has a slugging percentage at the moment over 600. So the hint is one player had a full season, the other was just over 200 plate appearances. Back to the middle. This time it's Forsythe, and the Twins second baseman throws out Salvi. So 2 hard hit outs, but the Royals go down 1-2-3 in the 4th. As Monty joins us and we look at Jorge Lopez first 3 innings.
Well, so far he's making it look pretty easy. Got to like the life we're seeing, especially on that fastball. Really picking up right where he left off in his last start. Making a little adjustment, getting the ball that on the glove side now. A lot of action. He has confidence in throwing for strikes. He's been behind in a couple counts, but he's gotten right back in it by using that fastball.
Great life, huh?
Ned Yost has said that if the guys are going to, the young pitchers are going to get hit hard this year, he wants it to because they're staying on the attack.
Attack. We've heard that word so many times, and it doesn't matter if it's guys coming out of the bullpen or guys taking the hill in the first inning. Ned wants to see the attack, and I think I've probably heard that word more this year than ever, but it's a word that as a pitcher, you better have it in your arsenal.
That and opportunity. Those are the 2 biggest words of the year.
For sure. We've heard that a lot, too. We've seen a lot of opportunities present themselves.
And some guys have stepped up and answered those opportunities, and some haven't. That's the way the game is.
Strike 1 on Joe Mauer. He grounded out to short his first time up. Now, from a hitting side, remember the Royals for a while there when they were slumping offensively? They were striking out a lot, and they were swinging at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. I'd asked Terry Bradshaw, would you prefer that? Do they learn more swinging the bat, or do they learn more seeing pitches? That ball landed about 8 feet in front of the home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Terry said you learn more swinging the bat. You can teach more when a guy swings the bat. Now, from a pitching side, Monty, I guess you learn more when you put the ball in the strike zone as opposed to trying to nibble around the strike zone.
Well, you're going to find out what your stuff's all about, and I don't care who you are. If you've got big league stuff, you're here for a reason, and you can't really be somebody different. You can't try to be somebody that you're not. So you have to trust your stuff, and you know, again, we go back to the word attack. You have to have confidence that you can attack the strike zone, and your stuff's going to play out. I can promise you, maybe nobody, if so, not many guys have ever been promoted to the major leagues without some kind of stuff that somebody says, hey, you got the ability to get people out here.
Monty, for our first time listeners and our young baseball fans out there, tell us what stuff means.
Well, stuff is when you, like, for example, you see the ball leave a guy's hand and it has life to it, and you see a guy that throws a slider, it's got good finish to it. You see a guy throw a curveball, it's got good finish to it, and it's just stuff that, well, there it is, stuff. It's stuff that you really oftentimes can't teach it. It's something you guys have it or they don't have it. You can refine it, but I think guys who get to the big league level have something that's different than a lot of other players, a lot of other pitchers, but it's oftentimes stuff related.
Okay, let's look at that stuff at 91. That's a 2-seamer, and the 2-seamer's thrown with 2 fingers on top of the seams, and it makes it go down. You can see the movement. That's stuff.
Right. It's good life. It's good life, and it can be on. You know, doesn't have to always be a fastball. It can be any of your pitches.
Bonifacio. It wasn't pretty, but he made the play. His first step was in, and then he realized that ball was hit harder than he thought.
I think he was waving to one of his passes in the stands up there at the last minute like that. Just threw his glove up there and landed right in it.
Jorge sure is excited. Both Jorges.
Yeah. Check him out. He goes, oh, this one might got away from me. Just snagged it out of midair. Good play.
He's a happy man, isn't he?
He sure is.
Eddie Rosario with 2 down. He popped out to Mondesi in the first inning. Right center field. And a much easier play for Bonifacio, and he's got it. So Lopez has set down the first 12 tonight. and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. No score, with the Royals coming up in the 5th inning. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. 0-1 on Bonifacio. Berrios struck him out with a breaking ball in the 2nd inning. Berrios has struck out 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Monty, when a starting pitcher's in September, the last month of the season, what shows up when he's tired? Lack of command or lack of velocity?
I would say more command than anything, because your body kind of gets a little bit out of its natural mechanics, and maybe you don't repeat those mechanics quite as frequently because your arm's tired and you're not able to get on top the way you maybe could early in the season, coming out of spring training when everything's good and strong and fresh. But there's just a wear and tear factor that every player goes through it, and whether you're a starting pitcher or a guy that plays a position on a daily basis. And here we're going to look at these last 5 starts from Berrios, and what I've noticed about him tonight comparatively to the 2 starts he made against the Royals earlier in the season, his breaking ball seems a little flatter to me than what I remember. There's almost more of a lateral movement, and it doesn't quite have the depth that I remembered having early in the year.
That's what we were talking about with the hitters today with O'Hearn. I said, hey, he's got kind of a roundhouse and curve, doesn't he? They go, yeah, it's not like an over-the-top sharp one. The one he's throwing now is like a backdoor breaking ball, basically.
He's thrown more fastballs comparatively, and a lot of times that's because you know in your mind that maybe you're not quite as sharp, maybe your breaking ball's not quite as good as it was. And over his last 5 starts against a curveball, hitter's hitting .333, so it's a way big different number than what we were used to seeing earlier in the season.
Is that another byproduct of being tired? Maybe your arm starts to drop a little bit and you don't get on top of the ball.
We always talk about north and south as a pitcher, and your arm has to be up top, and you have to go from top to bottom, north to south. And when you get a little tired, that arm has a tendency just to kind of click down a few slots. So instead of being on top, you're down a little bit more on the side. And I think that's what's creating the little bit more lateral effect on Berrios' breaking ball.
Fouled away by Goodwin. He took a walk, which loaded the bases with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, and then Berrios got Herrera to fly out. And then no scoring opportunities for Minnesota. Jorge Lopez has had 4 1-2-3 innings. Berrios has had 3 1-2-3 innings. And then that 2nd inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Now his breaking ball, you can see it still has good finish to it. Still has, good life, but it's just not quite the top to bottom break that I think we saw earlier in the year.
And Goodwin, that was a nasty pitch. He was starting to swing, and then he was starting to get out of the way.
Mo Lottery replay will show you. There it is. That's a big bender, but man, is it lateral. It is flat, huh, Monty?
Yeah, and that's something that, I mean, he's got great confidence in it. He'll throw it really in any count. He'll throw it behind in counts, but it's not the same pitch that I think made him an all-star the first half of the year.
Still effective when located properly. It was down.
And there are times when a pitcher has the ability to kind of create more of a sideways break, and a lot of times you see the guys drop down. We call it that Laredo slider, where it's really kind of a lot of lateral movement.
Off of Berrios' glove, almost as if he was telling his dugout, I'm okay. He put his right hand out to his side and then throws out Herrera. After tomorrow, the Royals go home, and the White Sox will be waiting for the Royals, but the Royals will not see Michael Kopech, White Sox top pitching prospect. He will have Tommy John surgery with our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. One of the Red Sox top prospects that came over in the Chris Sale trade, and as you and Hud were discussing a young pitcher in September and what shows up as far as fatigue goes this time of year, you also have to closely monitor a guy's workload, and a lot of these guys have never pitched a 6th month.
Yeah, and I think going back, gosh, at least a decade now, you started seeing teams monitor players and how they could advance from one season to the next. They really would try to limit their advancement as far as the innings are concerned by about 20% a year. But when you're going from a 5.5 month season to a 6 month, maybe a 6 month plus season, it's a lot of extra work, and guys are used to being home, getting ready for the next year. Now suddenly they're throwing more innings, that extra workload, and we're seeing more and more injuries, I think in part because guys throw so much harder.
So how long does a pitcher take to cool down after a long season?
I think everyone's different. I think it probably depends on, if you're a bullpen guy or a starter. I think it also depends on how many innings you throw during the course of a year. How stressful was your season? A lot of times it's best just to shut things down completely. I know nowadays it's almost a 12-month sport. I would always throw the glove in the closet till January 2nd. Give it some time. Work on the body, get the body good and strong.
Work on the core.
Give the arm some time off.
A great idea. Then find a mound sometime in the new year. Just do some light tossing.
Yeah,
start building the arm strength back up.
Ease back into it. You have plenty of time to get ready. I mean, things are a little different. I mean, a lot of guys go to spring training almost game ready nowadays, where they've been throwing side sessions, they've been throwing batting practice, they've been almost ready to get into game action when they go to spring training camp.
And that's one of the reasons why they're gassed after spring training. They're like, you know what, I'm ready for the season 3 weeks in.
Another hard hit ball. Alex Gordon slides and makes a play in left center. So 3 of the last 4 hitters have hit it right on the nose, but Bonifacio made a play in right field, Merrifield in this inning, and now Gordon.
Yeah, Jake Cave, he snuck one out there last night. He thought he could go back out there again, but Jake, you got to know better than that to get too close to Alex.
An amazing difference between last night's game and tonight's game. Think of Heath Philmeyer last night. He gives up the bunt and the balls that find holes, and tonight here Jorge Lopez they hit it hard, it's at somebody. So that's baseball.
Yeah, I felt for him because his line was ugly in the end. 6 runs, 2 1/3 innings, but that 4-run third was a bunt single and 2 slowly hit ground balls that found the outfield, and that's what got the inning going. O'Hearn makes the play, and that is 5 perfect innings for Jorge Lopez. Thank you, Monty.
Absolutely. Bring us home, guys.
See you on Boulevard Royals Live. No score at the end of 5.
student ID. Plus, enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Grill concession stand as you listen to local live music on the Outfield Experience stage before the game. Come check out our next local band, Yes You Are, on Wednesday. Visit Royals.com/student night for the fullest list of bands and for tickets.
7-0 Gophers over Fresno State at the end of one quarter. No score at Target Field. Royals and Twins. Our Sonic Slam inning player is Julie Faze from Overland Park. And if the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Julie wins $400. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Julie wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals.
Yeah, I had some friends from Fresno in town yesterday, entertaining them at our ball game today. And bad luck. That's all that is right there. Hang in there, Whit. And they were excited to see me, but they were more excited to see the Twins radio broadcaster Dan Gladden, who went to Fresno State. And so we got to catch up with them. They were all excited about going to the game today and tomorrow, the Vikings game. There's Glad, man.
Did you guys know each other as kids?
Dan Gladden?
Yeah, I mean, how do you compare as far as age go?
He's a little bit older than me, I think, but he was from the Bay Area in California, and I was a local Fresno kid.
Berrios.
Oh, wow.
I tell you what, he didn't get Mondesi, but that was impressive.
Wow.
He's lucky he didn't wreck his knee too, but
or his
wow.
arm. Look at him. Yeah, umpire, you know, Bruce Druckmann saying, "Hey, are you okay, kid?" Tell you, that's a gamer of a play right there. Just make the play at any cost. Really a nice touch by Mondesi, but he's so fast. And he's stuck in the ground. No divot though. That's clean. Oh man, he almost got him.
And maybe only Mondesi is safe on that play. I mean, with his speed.
I'd like to get a time on that bunt to first base. That had to be 3-5 or better. And you get Berrios out of his game a little bit like that. You know, you make him contort himself on the you know, right there on the field, and now he's getting back up in the mound. Maybe he'll be winded and give up a cookie, and we can get a lead right here to Alex. That's how it works.
Let's see if Alex might try to do the same thing. He's been trying all year to get a bunt down to the third base side.
Hadn't got it done.
And that is ruled low. Alex is struck out and flied out to left.
The way he's swinging, I'd like to see him swing it. He's hit some pretty good homers in this ballpark over the last few years.
There goes Mondesi, and the ball is dropped in transition. So Garver had no shot, and that's Mondesi's 14th stolen base since the All-Star break, leading the major leagues.
Yep, wouldn't have got him. Perfect throw, wouldn't have got him. Great jump. Alex hasn't homered since September 4th.
How's this 4 days ago?
Yeah, no, he's going good. I just want to see, but he needs to get one in his wheelhouse right here. Oh, good swing.
Good swing.
He's having great swings.
If you'd like to come out for a Gordo Nation, there's only 2 more remaining this upcoming Thursday against the Twins, and then September 27th against the Indians. $35. You get a ticket, you get a Gordo Big Head, and a premium Gordo Nation t-shirt, which Alex wears, by the way. Two and two.
He even knows that catch that's on the t-shirt who hit the ball. He said Joe Mauer hit that ball. It was earlier in the year, I believe.
Well, she was knitting last night. She was making little booties. Remember that?
Same lady.
Yep. And she had plenty of time. I mean, it went from the little baby socks to
a quilt.
Yeah.
There it is.
Right field corner. Foul. So I think with an effort like that, she deserves to be our Pepsi fan of the game.
I totally agree.
No look.
Nice going. Look at that. She's not distracted one bit. She's coming to the ball game, socializing, watching the game, and getting some knitting done. Look at Alex. Line to line. He's all over the baseball. Still looking for that big hit against Berrios. Got to have it. That's the key for tonight.
Merrifield opened the inning with a line drive to Adrianza at third, and then Mondesi beat out a bunt single and stole second base. And Polanco is right behind him, trying to keep him close. And a slider strikes out Alex. 2 down.
He executed a good one there. Put it down away from his bat, barrel.
Hunter Dozier with a runner at second base, 2 down. Down and in, ball 1. Dozier is struck out and flied out to right. Two and 0. Staying away from throwing him a fastball. 3 straight breaking balls.
Yeah, notice how they've adjusted to Dozier. They've really, the league's starting to spin the ball on him a lot. He's not getting any more heaters. He's been barreling.
Now Mondesi takes off. It is a swing and a foul tip, no throw, and Mondesi has stolen 2 in the inning. Little surprise with Berrios, that hard breaking ball that he has, that he's only thrown 2 wild pitches all year. That's the first thing that comes to mind with a runner at third base and 2 outs.
Yep. We're going to see Mondesi turn that steal into third into a run, because the catcher's going to try to overthrow, or he's going to throw him out and miss with the throw. And that's part of his game. And the fact that he can score runs and do things without a hit. Pressures defense, they throw the ball away, he's going to score a run. That's going to happen. You watch, a handful of times next season, maybe a few times this year.
Out over the plate and a base hit into left field. So he hung one, and Dozier was right on it. And the Royals take a 1-0 lead in the 6th inning.
That's what you do. Get a big hit when you need it. 27th RBI for Dozier. There it is. You take advantage of the mistake you're given. Dozier early in the season having a hard time knocking in a run. Now all of a sudden he's picking his spots and doing the job. In the meantime, opening some eyes.
Ryan O'Hearn has singled off the wall in right field, and he has lined out to short. So he's been right on Berrios twice tonight. Inside for ball 1. That's just the 4th run that the Royals have scored against Berrios this year in 20 innings. Good swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Our Kubota Power Stats. Hunter Dozier has 12 RBIs in his last 15 games. Dozier started the year with 4 RBIs in his first 35 games.
Yeah. That was getting a little concerning. Ned was giving him some opportunities in that 3 and 4 hole too. He stayed with him. I mean, he showed confidence in him.
One and 2. Ryan O'Hearn, speaking of an RBI streak, he has 20 in his last 20 games.
And one of the reasons now, you know, he's got Gordon hitting in the 2 and 3 spots different times tonight. He's in the 3rd spot. Dozier 4, O'Hearn 5. Those are your run producing spots. Salvi dropped him down a little bit to give O'Hearn a little protection behind him.
Got him on the foot.
Wow. Missed badly with that one. Where'd that get him?
Maybe on the back shin.
Huh.
And here comes Twins pitching coach Garvin Alston. Here's a better look.
Hit right on that shin
leg.
Yeah, right above the shin guard, maybe.
It always seems like the shin guard isn't quite tall enough on the leg and not quite long enough on the foot. I mean, how many times you see a guy with a big shin guard foul one right off the meat of the shin guard?
Never.
While they chat, Hud, what do you think about our sprint trivia question?
This is a pretty tough question here. But we've been able to put a couple names down. You have more than I do. But
Now, you're a big fan of Matt Olson.
I am.
And one of the clues was one player had a full season in the big leagues, the other did not. And Matt Olson was pretty impressive.
I was always impressed with him, and he's really my new left-handed power hitting guy in the West. I like him. Let's go with him. Let's run him up the pole.
Matt Olson.
Ding, 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 ding. There you go. That's the first name I wrote down tonight. That's all I could think of.
Who's your favorite left-hand power hitter in Central America?
I don't have any in Central America.
past Berrios, and Forsythe makes a play and then takes several steps to regain his balance and throws out Salvador Perez. A bunt, 2 stolen bases, and an RBI for Dozier. That gets Mondesi home for a 1-0 lead.
Time for the Miller hold true moment. And behind any good pitching performance, you gotta have defense. So Hearn made that look easy. Bonifacio saved an extra base there. And Alex Gordon, what new? Tracked down an extra base hit there off of Cave's bat. It's looking good so far. Lopez is dealing.
That was Hunter's 12th RBI in his last 15 games. Meanwhile, Jorge Lopez has retired all 15 Twins. So he gets the lower third for the second time. Kepler, Grossman, and Adrianza. Kepler was out on a routine fly ball to right field in the 3rd inning. One and one. Got the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyler Duffy warms up in the Minnesota bullpen. Two and two.
But what was impressive too about Lopez early in the game when he was falling behind, you know, he was 3-1 on a lot of batters, is he was able to get back in there by throwing strikes and coming back on hitters and getting back in counts. And since that 1st or 2nd inning, he's been getting ahead of hitters.
He has not had a big strikeout night. That's just his 2nd. And there's 1 down in the 6th inning.
Got him set up for the heater. It's not. He pulled the string. Sorry. You got to go.
He has been very aggressive with his fastball tonight. He's thrown his fastball almost 3/4 of the time. 74% fastballs tonight. Bonifacio out in right field makes a play, and there are 2 down in the 6th inning.
Yeah, and you know, when you have that kind of life on that fastball, why would you use anything else? Salvador's having a hard time catching it even.
He has been extremely pitch efficient other than that 1st inning. Now that was a 1-2-3 inning, so 19 is a lot for a 1-2-3 inning, but he went 3-1 on each of those 3 hitters. And now Adrianza with 2 down and nobody on. Over the inside, strike one. And when you're pitching as well as Lopez is, you get the benefit of the doubt.
You better believe it. Those hitters back there in Minnesota, if they don't hack, they'll be going back.
Well hit, deep left center field. Gordon and Goodwin, and Alex makes the play on the track and make it 6 perfect innings for Jorge Lopez.
If it stays in the yard, it's going to get caught.
In a few days, it'll be here. This one's for you, September 11th, one of our favorite broadcasts, hooking up with troops overseas. And George Brett Saberhagen, Reggie Sanders, Mike Sweeney will be visiting troops, many of whom are from the Kansas City area or region. So a lot of Royals fans, and absolutely my honor to be able to go over there with them. All of us heading out tomorrow. Lots of flight time over to the Middle East. Guys, to give you an idea, right now it is 3:43 in the morning there on Sunday. So when we are live during our broadcast on Tuesday, September 11th, it'll be after 3 in the morning on September 12th. And I don't know if you guys will be wearing polos or suits back at home, but it's supposed to feel like about 115 over there, maybe closer to 100 during the nighttime.
Just another all-nighter for you, Joel. I mean, that's
just sure.
Right?
Yep. Goldie, we'll be watching. We'll be watching and we'll be pulling for you and having fun. We expect a lot of energy at that time in the morning from you.
No, you'll get it. It's the ultimate honor, though.
That is fair inside the left field line, and with a 1-0 lead, the Royals greet Tyler Duffy with a Jorge Bonifacio double and a runner at second and nobody out.
Bonifacio laced his 13th double. I mean, pulled them hands in nicely.
So Tyler Duffy is a Chevy call to the bullpen, and he brings a 7.85 ERA in. The Royals scored 1 run on 3 hits against Jose Berrios in 6 innings. Last night, late in the game, when the game was tied, the Royals had a leadoff double and didn't get the runner home. That was Herrera in the 5th. And just like Goodwin here, Alcides Escobar bunted him to 3rd with 1 out. But Trevor May buckled down, and that's what Duffy's going to try and do here in the 7th.
Yep, he's 90 to 96 with his fastball curve change. There's the curve, cut the corner.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bonifacio, let's check his swing out. Now he's got a good foundation, we know that, but he's a toe tapper. He does not load his hips. Watch him, see his toe? He just goes on his toe and taps it. Now his hands, they're in a good position. They're ready to go. They're ready to fire. He's a very handsy hitter, but when he does that, he has great balance. And his finish is good. He takes it, he keeps two hands on the bat. Sometimes he's a top hand takeoff guy, but anyway, controlled swing right now, and he's hotter. He's almost lava hot.
That's a big strikeout for Tyler Duffy, so Bonifacio's at second base with 1 out.
Too bad. Gotta make some contact and get him over to third base. Tyler Duffy slowing it way down on a big curveball. Duffy has almost a crossfire type delivery. Throws across his body. Has some deception.
Curveball for a strike to Rosel Herrera. He is flied to center, and then he hit a line drive off of Jose Berrios' glove in the 5th inning, and Berrios ended up throwing him out. One and one. That is Andrew Vasquez, whom the Royals have not seen yet. Two and one.
Rosie, a 304 hitter with a runner at second base and beyond. Good time to come through here, Pat. Get a little bit of insurance.
Throw back down to second. 3-1. If the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy.
If Herrera pulls that ball down the first base line, he's got a good chance for one. Three and one. Looking for a good pitch to drive right here.
Out over the plate and nubbed back to Duffy, and now Bonifacio goes to third with one of the worst slides of his life, and hopefully he didn't get hurt.
Oof. Yeah.
Might be embarrassed as much as he is hurt.
Yeah, and that's what Jersh is saying. But his left leg got stuck right in the slide.
So Duffy has given up a double, but he's bounced back with a strikeout and a ground out, and now Bonifacio's at third, 2 down for Whit Merrifield. 0-1.
Yep, just like we said, look at the slide. Look at that left foot. It got caught up underneath his leg like that, got stuck in the dirt. Seen a lot of those things put guys out.
Ankles, knees.
Yeah, and it's not as easy as they make it look lots of times.
Always seems like when a runner gets injured on a slide, at some point there was some indecision. Remember Jose Reyes a few years ago, and he couldn't decide if he wanted to slide or go in standing. And you know, very rarely do you see a guy get hurt when he's running hard and sliding hard. Off the end of the bat, shallow center field and down, and Whit Merrifield picks up the Royals with a 2-out RBI. It is 2-0.
Nicely done. Let Bonifacio just trot in. Glad to see he's able to walk on his own power, but after that slide. But Merrifield thinking large part of the field. That's what he does. Middle of the field. Break any breaking ball. He's not going to try to pull it. He's just going to hit it out there, and he doinked it off the end of his bat. Perfect touch.
It's good to see a smile on Bonifacio's face. Nick Kenny certainly saw that slide.
Didn't that Reyes accident happen in our house?
Yeah. Yep.
Oof, I remember that.
And now Nick smiling.
Busted my knee a couple of times on second base. Slide late, foot gets hooked in there. You go over a little bit too far. You feel the snap, crackle, pop. You're done.
Yeah. Which is okay if you're having cereal in the morning, but not when you're sliding into a base.
No, it's not a good feel.
1-1 on Mondesi with 1 out in the 6th inning. He dropped down a bunt single. He stole second, then he stole third. And Dozier got him home with a single for the Royals' first run.
I mean, Mondesi, he can put 2 runs on the board in one swing. Earlier this year, he hit one almost out of the stadium, out of right field.
2-2. Two nothing Royals. And when Lopez takes the mound in the bottom of the 7th, he'll be trying to add to his 6 perfect innings. Witt started to go as that pitch came in, and then it went in the dirt. So he kicks the bag in frustration as Lopez stays focused. He has faced 18 and retired 18 tonight. So Witt's saying to himself, I should have gone with my first instinct. Pitch was coming in. He took 2 or 3 steps and stopped, and sure enough the pitch was in the dirt, and now he is going. And Mondesi rips it to right field. Witt to third. Mike Jershely waves him home. Mondesi stops at second base with a 2-out RBI double, and the Royals lead is 3-0.
Mondesi hammers his 10th double on the season with a stake attached to it. Merrifield running, really didn't need to run. He would have scored with no problem. But he got a nice little jump on it. It's a hanging breaking ball at 84 right there. Good short compact swing. That's all you need. He could have hit that out just as well if he got under it a little bit more, but still stays in the yard, and they're getting some runs going now for Lopez.
And now we'll take a look at Andrew Vasquez. He comes on with Mondesi at second and 2 down. Chevy call to the bullpen for Minnesota.
event of the season on Thursday. Enjoy one free drink while following an art demonstration from Pino's Palette in our Hall of Fame Pavilion. Create a one-of-a-kind piece to show your Royals pride before watching the Royals take on the Twins. Visit Royals.com/paint for more details.
This is Andrew Vasquez, who has just pitched in 2 games, covering 1 inning. And he comes on to face Alex Gordon. Vasquez is a former 32nd round pick out of the Twins organization. Merrifield and Mondesi have driven in runs in this inning to make it 3-0 KC. And now down and away ball 1 to Alex. He was 0 for 3 against Berrios with a couple of strikeouts. Alex has driven in 11 of his 39 against the Twins this year. That's a big breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
6'6", 230. Big young man, just 24 years old. Not overpowering though. He's just 85 to 88 with his fastball. Big breaking ball. And a changeup. That's his best pitch, is the big curve.
There's another one, and it's lined to left field and in front of Grossman. So here's Mondesi to score, and the Royals have 3 in the 7th inning, all with 2 outs and a 4-0 lead.
Little 2-out lightning happening is what we're calling that. Yeah. Just keep it going. That's a big breaking ball. See how it started behind Alex's back? He's able to read that and keep his shoulder in until the ball crosses the plate and stroke it to left field. Alex Gordon's never been better in the last couple of years. It's the best he's been right now. Jump on him. No wonder Ned's hitting him 2 and 3 in the order.
There was no score tonight until 2 outs in the 6th inning, and Hunter Dozier drove in Mondesi. And the Royals have scored all 4 of their runs with 2 outs tonight. The most important thing is the Royals having a 4-0 lead. But from a fan's point of view, we're all keeping a close eye on Jorge Lopez. He has pitched 6 perfect innings. And this is turning out to be a long layoff for him. He's enjoying the runs. That's why he's smiling. But it has been a 15-minute inning for the Royals so far.
Heath Philmeyer, same situation last night. It was the Royals dropped a 6th spot in 1 inning, came out, and he dropped a 6th spot.
Does that look like a guy who's pitching tonight and has thrown 6 perfect innings? I mean, he's just sitting back enjoying the game. Maybe that's the attitude to have. Well, he'll go back to the mound with a 4-0 lead, and Minnesota does not have a single base runner against Lopez in their first 6 at-bats. for the win pitching line. And he has been primarily fastball breaking ball tonight. 71% fastballs. And he has pitched 6 perfect innings with some help from his defense. He has been pitch efficient. And now he's pitching with a 4-run lead. And Joe Mauer takes a fastball for a strike. Mauer is grounded to short and struck out. 18 up and 18 down against Lopez. Outside, looked like a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the ground to Merrifield. And 1 down in the 7th inning.
By throwing strikes, he's going after people. That's given him a little bit of a cushion at the end of these at-bats here to make the pitch and get the out. See the fastball usage? Good. The more the merrier. With that kind of life he's got tonight on that heater, no wonder.
Jorge Polanco with 1 out. Little bit low with a breaking ball. Home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman, I think, has had a fair strike zone tonight. And he's given Lopez the benefit of the doubt on a few occasions. Not that one.
That one. But see, it's the movement. It's the fastball. The movement on that pitch. It's going 3 or 4 inches. Some guys are lucky if they get 1 or 2 inches on the movement on their fastball, but he's getting 3 or 4. Stay right there.
Two and 1. Two and 2. And his teammates are hanging on the railing and hanging on every pitch. And as far as the pitchers go, they're probably thinking to themselves, what would I be doing right now? What would I be thinking? Back through the middle. Mondesi throws in time. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Routine play for Mondesi. I mean, that's a tough play, but you know, his kind of range, his transfer from glove to hand, his arm strength makes all that routine. Got him by a step. Yeah, and believe me, you're hungry if you're playing defense behind him. You don't want to be over aggressive, but you want to be hungry to make the play for him. Just slow the game down. This is the time you hear slow everything down.
And now his buddy, Eddie Rosario. Rosario smiled and tipped his helmet toward Lopez when he dug in the 1st inning, and he has hopped to short and flied to right. Popped up. And that'll be back into the crowd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, aside from setting down the first 20 hitters, you know, getting 2 outs here in the 7th inning were big for him because of the long layoff while the Royals were scoring 3 in the top of the 7th. He's big. Back in rhythm.
Big, exactly.
1 and 2.
The 4 runs only helped. It made him feel a lot more comfortable. He's like, all right, now I don't have to really keep my focus where it needs to be, and that's just down south his glove right now.
That'll be out of play. Well, we don't know a lot about Jorge. We're learning more every day. This is just his 5th start as a Royal, but that grin on his face would suggest that he's handling it well and having a good time. Still 1-2.
But his homie's messing with his pitch count right here. Got a good AB going.
Grounded to first. O'Hearn goes to the bag and make it 7 perfect innings for Jorge Lopez. And a 4-0 Royals lead. Brought to you by Ford, going further so you can. 4-0 Royals. And Jorge Lopez has pitched 7 perfect innings. Here's Ryan O'Hearn, the subject of our sprint trivia question. Ryan is 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. He's facing Andrew Vasquez, and it's 0-1. We're down to 1 left-hand hitter last year with a 600 or better slugging percentage and 100 or more plate appearances. 1 had a full year in the big leagues. 1 an abbreviated year. HUD's already identified Matt Olson. That's the abbreviated guy.
Ding, 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 ding.
How about another young guy last year, Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers? That's my favorite left-hand batter in the West.
Okay, let's see if he run him up the pole.
Cody Bellinger. Strike 1. I wrote down Joey Votto. Wasn't he runner-up for MVP last year?
Uh-huh.
Bryce Harper.
Power. Power.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Still 2-2. Vasquez came on to face a left-hand batter and gave up an RBI to Alex Gordon. Looks like they're ready to go for another pitching change in the Minnesota bullpen with Perez Bonifacio coming up. Still 2-2.
Yeah, left-hander can be really effective against left-handed batters with just 2 pitches, just a fastball, slider. That's basically all Vasquez is throwing.
That's well hit to left field, but playable for Grossman. 1 out in the 8th inning. Well, do you like Votto or Harper, Hud?
Yes, I do.
Pick one.
Harper.
Bryce Harper. Strike 2. John Curtis comes on to face Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez is coming up. We have 2 strikes, and we need 1 more correct answer. Left-hand batter last year with a slugging percentage of .600 or better. John Curtis will face Salvador Perez with 1 out and nobody on. And he greets Curtis with a line drive right to Kepler. 2 down. Curtis has a 21.6 ERA. That's just in 3 games. Opponents are hitting .444.
Yeah, fastball slider change.
Joey Votto.
Don't hit for enough power, I don't think.
Hits a lot of doubles.
Okay.
Bonifacio led off the 7th inning with a double, and he scored the first of 3 runs. The Royals have scored all 4 with 2 outs. Dozier drove in a run in the 6th. And then Merrifield, Mondesi, and Gordon in the 7th. He went around, says John Libka, the first base umpire, 1 and 2.
Go ahead, throw him out. Throw Votto out there. See what you think.
I don't feel great about it either, but I can't think of anybody else.
All right, go ahead. Just throw him out there.
What about Brian McCann with the Astros?
I was looking at the Astros and trying to think. They had to have a bopper for their team.
Reddick didn't have a year like that, did he?
No. Rangers.
Joey Gallo. A lot of strikeouts, but when he puts it in play.
Not Rizzo.
Go ahead.
All right, Joey Votto.
Strike 3. Charlie Blackmon. Oh. Stay tuned.
Jorge Lopez tonight is really working his fastball. I mean to tell you, his fastball has tremendous movements on it. Now you see it, the 12 out flyouts, that's a byproduct of the movement. They can't really square it up right. Okay, so this is why he's having so much success. And there's a lot of terms that hitters have used over the years for moving fastballs like that. Hair, electricity, fuzz, cheddar cheese, all kinds of terms that hitters use, but that has got some great electricity on his fastball tonight. It's moving.
Two 2-0 on Logan Forsythe. Lopez is set down the first 21. He got Forsythe on a ground out to third in the second inning and a line out in the fifth. Good movement on his fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that line drive by Forsythe was right up the middle, but Whit Merrifield was standing right there as he is right now. 2-2.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to get those because he's been there all night.
Little slow roller. Tester for Mondesi. He got him. 1 out in the 8th inning.
Yep, those little toppers like that in the infield make you a little bit nervous, but not when you got a guy like that coming after it. Mondesi closing down with speed and skills.
So he's 5 outs away, and he hasn't thrown 90 pitches yet. Jake Cave has required 2 excellent defensive plays to get him out twice. One by O'Hearn at first base and one by Gordon in left. One ball, 1 strike. And in a game like this, make no mistake, there is pressure on everybody, not just Lopez. There is pressure on Salvador Perez to call the right pitch. There is pressure on the defense.
There's intensity and pressure in the dugout, the Royals dugout there, maybe more.
Fastball struck him out. That is just his third tonight, and now there are 2 down in the 8th inning.
So if you're defending behind Lopez, you see Salvi, he wants that ball up, and he's effective with that fastball no matter where he's putting it tonight. But up there for sure, you ain't touching that. But if you're defending behind him, you're telling yourself right now, hit it to me. I want to make the play for you. And if you're not, you're in trouble, because this ball will find you.
Now a strike to Mitch Garver. He is lined to right and fouled out to first. One ball, one strike. The last time a Royal has gone 8 innings without allowing a hit was Brett Saberhagen in 1991 when he pitched a no-hitter against the Chicago White Sox. Slow breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Line foul back into the crowd.
See now, 4th time through, he's mixing up some slower pitches now. He's not really exactly, excuse me, 3rd time through. He's given them a little bit of extra, something they haven't seen.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fan got an ovation for catching that foul ball. How much will that foul ball be worth?
That's right.
Two and two. Line up the left field line. Foul.
Don't go with that one. Go back with the fuzz. Throw that cheddar cheese in there.
And you wonder how Twins fans really feel. On one hand, their team hasn't had a base runner yet, but on the other hand, how many opportunities do you get to see something like this?
Not many.
Fastball got him looking. And Jorge Lopez is 1 inning away from the first perfect game in Royals history.
exclusive Royals home screen icons and features, such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
This is Addison Reed. And the irony here, Addison Reed was on the mound for one of the greatest moments in Royals history when Christian Colon drove in the go-ahead run in Game 5 of the World Series, and now he takes the mound in what could be one of the most exciting moments in Royals history, with Jorge Lopez 3 outs away from a perfect game.
It's incredible. Addison Reed, he's got a 91 to 95 mile an hour fastball, slider, changeup. Montclair, California is where Addison Reed's from. 29 years old.
Brian Goodwin is 0 for 2 with a walk. Goodwin, Herrera, and Merrifield in the 9th inning. If we're thinking only about Jorge Lopez right now, Hud, what's the best thing for him right now? A quick 3-up, 3-down inning, or do you think he could use a little extra time to get his heart rate down? I know I could use a little extra time to get my heart rate down.
Yeah, no, I think just steady as she goes. Let it go. I think probably 1, 2, 3 would be the best scenario. But you know, you can't call baseball. There are no experts. The game's too complex. Round ball, round bat, there you go. Can't explain it. How it falls, where it goes, who drops the ball, all that.
Grounded to Mauer. Reed just barely gets to the bag in front of Goodwin. What's Salvador Perez thinking right now? Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Oh, and 1 on Rosel Herrera. In the bottom of the 9th, at least the scheduled hitters in a perfect game are always the lower third. Kepler, Grossman, and Adrianza, but it's September, and Paul Molitor has a small village on his bench, so he has 6 reserve players that could be used as a pinch hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jorge Bonifacio has been the busiest of all the Royals with the leather tonight in right field. Under the chin, 3 balls and 1 strike. At the plate, Bonifacio has scored a run, and he has 5 putouts in right field. Three and 2. Herrera's on with 1 out. We've been watching Jorge Lopez in between innings over the last 3 innings, and he has looked pretty loose for the most part. He's been smiling with teammates, and usually in a situation like this, everybody stays away from the pitcher. They don't want to disrupt any kind of rhythm. They don't want to be the guy that jinxed the no-hitter or the perfect game. One ball and no strikes on Whit Merrifield. Whit with 2 outs in the 7th inning dropped a base hit into center field. That gave the Royals a 2-0 lead, and then Mondesi and Gordon followed with RBIs to give Lopez and the Royals a nice cushion. There goes Herrera, and a ground ball base hit into right center field.
Good Whit.
Rosie will stop at third, and the Royals have runners at the corners with 1 out.
He is multi-hit Whit again tonight. You want a good, solid number 2 hitter. This is what number 2 hitters do. Hit and runs, that's what you want. Guy who can shorten up, handle the bat, put the ball in right field, guaranteed to get the runner over to third base with less than 2. Increase your chances of scoring him. And you know, I can just tell you from experience in games like these that not only is Lopez's defenders nervous and a little bit tight, the Minnesota Twins are too. Because it doesn't matter what side you're on, really. These things don't happen all that often.
Mondesi's had a good night. He has scored twice. He has 2 stolen bases. He has an RBI, and he's made some big plays behind Jorge Lopez. Big rip. No balls and 1 strike against Addison Reed.
Reed, he's pretty quick home. Garver's thrown out 16% of runners this year. I know Whit like to steal his 31st bag if he could. But there's no need to run just for running's sake.
0-2. One ball, 2 strikes.
Couldn't see how Addison Reed can be deceptive. I mean, he's funky at the last minute, and this is when hitters try to pick up the rotation or try to pick up the release point. He's short. He kind of humps his back and has a little sneaky over the top. Quick, watch him. Right when he gets ready to deliver. Out on the throw over.
Herrera walked with 1 out, and then on a hit and run he went to third on Merrifield's single. No swing.
Plus he throws across his body. Tough to pick it up.
Two outs. Jorge Lopez is scheduled to face Kepler, Grossman, and Adrianza in the bottom of the 9th inning. 3 outs away from the first perfect game in Royals history. Alex Gordon drove in the 3rd of the 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning. The Royals got 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. Strike over the outside corner. Up the left field line and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. He's looking at his teammates. I'll bet his teammates are not looking at him. If they are, they're sneaking a peek.
Yeah.
Wondering how he's handling this.
You're icing him.
There goes Witt, and the pitch is down and in. So Witt gets his 31st stolen base without a throw. Seattle is just underway at home against New York, and Witt was tied for the league lead with D. Gordon.
He'll take that.
So that puts him, I would assume, in the lead for the time being, trying to make it back-to-back years, leading the league in stolen bases. Alex taps it back to the mound, and Reed throws to first. So the top of the ninth is over. Now to the bottom of the ninth. Well, who knows how many times Jorge Lopez has made this walk, or in this case a jog, from the dugout to the pitcher's mound. I'll bet he doesn't know, but I guarantee you this: no matter what happens here in the ninth inning, he will never forget tonight.
Just amazing how smooth the game has gone and how he's pitched and made some early contact outs tonight. Hasn't had a heavy fastball, strikeouts, great fastball percentage, but that's the reason the pitch count is manageable, is he hadn't had to use a lot of them to strike guys out. But there's been plenty of defensive plays. His ball's been hit hard by Minnesota, but the Royals, one of the best defenses in baseball, have come to play tonight again.
Just for historical perspective, the Royals have never had a perfect game. They have never had a pitcher take a perfect game into the ninth inning. And the closest the Royals have had was Steve Busby with his second no-hitter in 1974 at Milwaukee. He allowed one walk. Minnesota, on the other hand, they have been no-hit 5 times, and they've been the victim of 2 perfect games. Jim Catfish Hunter back in 1968 at Oakland, and then in 1998 David Wells pitched a perfect game against the Twins at Yankee Stadium. There's the pitch breakdown, Hud.
That's right. Now we're seeing more breaking balls, obviously, third time through the order here. You definitely, he's going to mix them up some, but his fastball has been premium. One of the reasons he is where he is tonight is he's getting 3 to 4 inch run on his pitches. It's been amazing to see the explosion.
And a breaking ball is a little bit low to Max Kepler. So we mentioned all the fly balls. Bonifacio has handled 5. 2 balls and no strikes. Both dugouts right now are just a collection of statues, just hanging over the railings and hanging on every pitch. A strike, 2-1.
Dreckman's been given calls all night long on the edges of the plate,
but nothing ridiculous.
No.
Three balls, 1 strike. Here comes the fastball, and that's been a great weapon all night for Lopez. And that is ball 4. And I think even some of the Twins fans are booing tonight. Now, Hud, he has pitched 8 innings out of the windup. This would go against, baseball's rules, but why not pitch from the windup right here? You have a 4-0 lead, but he's going to go to the stretch for the first time all night.
Let's see how it does, how he works it. There's some movement. Good spot. Grossman's a solid hitter. He likes to put the ball in play.
Oh, and 2. Grossman is grounded out to second, and he is flied out to right.
Those are perfect spots.
All the pressure isn't gone, but with a walk and no perfect game, it takes a little bit of pressure off the defense.
I think so.
One ball, 2 strikes. Grounded just foul off to the first base side.
You know, and keep in mind too, as we see Peralta warming up, is that hitters, they want to break up the no-hitter. They want that opportunity. They're looking for a pitch to swing. That's why I was a little bit surprised that Kepler wasn't swinging. It's one of those borderline pitches because they want to be the one.
Now Grossman gets a base hit into center field. Kepler will go to third, and it's a mixed ovation here. Twins fans are glad they're not going to get no hit, and they also appreciate what Jorge Lopez has done tonight. 8 perfect innings, and now a walk and a single, and now all of a sudden the tying run is on deck. And this is really a nice gesture by his teammates to come out and remind him of what he's accomplished, and they know that Ned's on his way. Gave us a heck of a thrill, didn't he?
Oh, it was just thrilling. Are you kidding? That's edge of your seat material here. Too bad. Darn it.
There are 25,814 here tonight. And in a moment, Jorge Lopez might walk off the mound and think he's in Kansas City if the fans appreciate him the way I think they will. And here he comes. Now the Royals have a game to win. pitched 8 perfect innings. And with a 4-0 lead in the 9th inning, he walked Max Kepler to break up the perfect game. And that's a 1-2 pitch down and away to Robbie Grossman.
To a professional hitter. I knew it's with these 3 hitters he was facing this inning would not be easy. And Grossman, he knew what he was going to get. Great run. What an exciting feeling.
And now Willie Peralta is going for his 9th save. First and third, nobody out with the tying run on deck. And it's a huge relief for the Twins. And he's had that look on his face all game. It's not like the pressure's gone now and he can really appreciate what he did. I mean, he's been loose all night.
No, I believe he's the real deal. You just don't see that kind of movement on fastballs from starters. We've seen some action out of some bullpen guys that are rested and they can come in and throw, you know, as hard as they can for a couple innings, but haven't seen that kind of movement. He earned every bit of the 8 innings of perfect ball.
1-1 on Adrianza to center field. So the perfect game is gone, the no-hitter is gone, and now the shutout is gone. But all the Royals are interested in right now is outs. And Kepler scores on Adrianza's sac fly. And a runner at first base with 1 out. First time in Royals history that a pitcher took a perfect game into the 9th inning.
Very emotional for a lot of people. And you know, Grossman, we just showed him getting his lead there at first base. He'll never forget that.
You've been on the wrong end of a no-hitter and a perfect game, right?
Right. And I led off the 9th inning in Texas when Kenny Rogers threw his only perfect game. And the place was going bananas. And I was in the on-deck circle, and I couldn't believe the energy that was involved with that there in the home ballpark. And I looked at the crowd, and I said, I'm going to get him. And they just lost it. It was beautiful. And then I hit a nice little, what I thought was a line drive. Kenny Rogers said later that it was a flare. But they caught it. And he got the next 2 outs.
I've had the opportunity to broadcast a couple, both against my team.
Okay, what was that? Which ones were those?
Well, John Lester no-hit the Royals
at
Fenway Park, and then I, along with a guy in the booth to my right, Dick Bramer, he and I on radio and TV did the David Wells perfect game against Minnesota in 1998.
Okay.
And poor Fizz. Line to left field, and Alex is there for the out. Steve Fiziak, who broadcast Ty Cobb's last year.
He's been around a long time.
Has never broadcast or seen a no-hitter.
And he was looking at me at the start of that 9th inning, and his fingers were crossed, and he was just, oh, he couldn't bear it.
I'll bet we're going to hear all about that as soon as this game's over. Ball 1 on Polanco. Well, it's going to be a fun Boulevard Royals Live. Jorge Lopez will be the #1 topic, taking a perfect game into the 9th inning. And with the Royals leading 4-1, the Royals scored all 4 of their runs with 2 outs. Danny Duffy is chatting with Lopez right now. He had a big night in Tampa Bay a couple years ago and came close to a no-hitter. Jorge Lopez took us for a ride tonight, and the Royals even the series had one game apiece as they beat the Minnesota Twins 4-1 in 2 hours and 42 minutes. So after one of the ugliest games of the year and longest games last night, the Royals spun that around quickly and played one of their best games of the year.
This was a great ball game to watch. The action was good for the Royals. They got some timely hits, when they needed to, off of Berrios. And nobody would have predicted that young man right there would have gone 8 perfect tonight and almost go all the way. What a thrilling opportunity to watch that performance. Great job. Defense deserves a lot of credit. The Minnesota Twins, they squared some baseballs up on him, but